Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This lecture is about PPSC interview for the post of lecturer, subject specialist or assistant professor. In this lecture we are going to discuss the nature of PPSC interview panel, the nature of their questions, preparation for the interview, means how to prepare for interview, important documents for interview, dressing for interview, the way to enter the interview room, the way to sit on the chair before the panel, the way to answer the questions, and some important instructions for the job applicants or interviewees. It is very important for you to understand the nature and purpose of an interview. An interview is formal meeting in which one or more persons question, consult, or evaluate another person. An interview is essentially a structured conversation where an interviewer asks questions and the interviewee provides answers. A job interview consists of a conversation between a job applicant and representatives of an employer, which is conducted to assess whether the applicant should be hired or not. Interviews are one of the most popularly used devices for employee selection. PPSC job interview is conducted in a room where 3 to 5 committee members question, evaluate, and assess a candidate whether he or she is suitable for the post or not. PPSC interview panel usually consists of 4 members, 1 committee head, 2 subject specialists, and 1 educationist from education department. In the coming section of this lecture, we will discuss interview panel and their respective questions in detail. The total marks of interview for the post of lecturer, subject specialist, or assistant professor are 100, and the passing marks of an interview are 50. But remember, these are not the qualifying marks. If you get 50 marks in the interview, you will be considered pass. But it does not mean that you would be selected for the post. You would only be selected for the post if you meet the overall criteria or merit. So, try to secure good marks in the interview. In my interview for the post of lecturer English, I was awarded 86 marks out of 100. To secure 80 plus marks is not difficult if you pay little bit attention. Who is called for the interview? Only those candidates will be called for the interview who have passed the written test or have been shortlisted on the basis of written test. Shortlisting of the candidates for interview is done on the basis of marks secured in the written test conducted by the commission. So, only those candidates are called for the interview who get qualifying marks, not only passing marks in the written test. You should know what is the formula for calculation of number of candidates to be called for interview. The number of candidates to be called for interview depends upon the number of posts indicated in the requisition. 5 candidates are called for interview for 1 post. For example, if there are 20 posts, then 100 toppers of written test will be called for the interview. Provided that if all candidates called for the interview fail to qualify the interview, next candidates, if available with the same ratio, shall be called for interview with the prior approval of the chairman. However, the chairman may also increase the number of candidates to be called for interview for 1 post. The same criteria shall also be applicable for candidates when called for interview against the quota for women, special persons, and minorities. Communication with the candidates will be made electronically through SMS, email, and PPSC website. So the candidates are informed about interview date, time, and place, and other instructions through SMS, email, and PPSC website. Tentative interview schedule is displayed at PPSC website at least 7 days before the interview. At least 6 days before the scheduled interview date, email and SMS are sent to the candidates informing them about the date, time, and place of interview, with the instructions to download their interview call letter from PPSC website. In case you are not intimated through SMS and email, you are advised to regularly visit the Commission's website www.ppsc.gop.pk for any information or update. In case of any difficulty, candidates may also approach PPSC office helpline for assistance or clarification. The candidates who are called for the interview should prepare their personal files a day before the interview to avoid any disruption. For this purpose, you should develop a checklist. The required documents include: number 1, original degrees and transcripts of Matric, FA, BA, MA, and MPhil. Make sure that transcripts or mark sheets of your degrees are attached along with the respective degrees. Number 2, interview call letter you have downloaded from PPSC website. Number 3, original treasury receipt of fee deposited or original fee challan. So when you deposit the fee, keep its receipt in a safe place to avoid any disruption. Number 4, original valid CNIC. Where at the time of interview a candidate fails to produce his or her original valid computerized national identity card, he or she may be interviewed provisionally and his or her identification be carried out on the basis of any other authentic alternate document like passport, original domicile, degree, certificate bearing photograph of the candidate. Subject to production of original valid CNIC in person before the same presiding member within 7 working days, failing which his or her application shall be rejected, provided that if a candidate has an expired computerized national identity card, he or she may be interviewed provisionally but rejected if he or she fails to produce the same within 7 working days. Number 5, original domicile. You should provide original domicile of the same district you have mentioned in the online application form. Married female candidates may also provide the domicile of her husband along with marriage proof. Number 6, original experience certificate. If you think that your previous job experience is valuable in the context of the post applied and it will make some difference, then provide your experience certificate issued by the appointing authority. Number 7, original NOC or permission letter. In case the candidate is a government employee, he or she should provide a departmental permission certificate duly signed and stamped by the competent authority of the concerned department. The form of departmental permission is available on PPSC website. Number 8, the disabled candidates should additionally provide original disability certificate. Number 9, in addition to this, you are expected to provide 2 complete sets of photocopies of these original documents. Detailed scrutiny of applications and documents will be carried out at the time of interview. If any candidate is found ineligible under law, his or her candidature will be cancelled, regardless of the fact that he or she appeared in the written test and qualified the same. People's decision making is deeply influenced by visual stimulus, and the first look an interviewer takes at you determines a lot about what he thinks of you. So pay special attention to your dressing, as dressing makes a difference. Dress code for male candidates. It is suitable for male candidates to wear dress pant shirt with tie, 3-piece suit with tie, or shalwar kameez with waistcoat or vasket. You are suggested to wear dark colored, freshly polished leather shoes with pant shirt and suit, and it is suitable to wear khedi or sandals under shalwar kameez. You should also wear a simple wrist watch as it gives the impression of professionalism. In addition to this, your hairstyle should be neat, mature, and professional. Dress code for female candidates. It is suitable for female candidates to wear shalwar kameez with dupatta or abaya with headscarf. And it is better to wear dark colored, freshly polished leather shoes. You can wear brown or black loafers, lace-up dress shoes, Oxfords, or another professional closed-toe shoes that complement your outfit. You should also keep some instructions in your mind while choosing a dress for your interview. Your dress must be good-looking, suitable, and graceful. Your dress must give a fresh look. Don't wear glittery and ceremonial dress. Don't wear loose or tight dress. It makes you uncomfortable. Don't wear uncomfortable dress. Your shoes must not make noise. They should not clatter, squeak, or knock. Wear a simple and elegant smile. It makes you beautiful. Stay simple and natural. It makes you elegant. There are some instructions you should follow on the day of your interview. Get up early in the morning so that you may have enough time to prepare and get ready. Reach the venue in time and report the desk person. Mark your attendance and submit the personal file for the purpose of detailed scrutiny. After this, sit on the available seat and wait for your turn. And while waiting, stay cool. While waiting for your turn, don't discuss or argue more with the other candidates, as it may confuse you. Don't panic about anything. It's merely a job interview, so take it serious as well as easy. Feel positive. You are called for interview out of hundreds. They have called you because they want to give you the job. Sit tight and rehearse. Don't start reading a magazine or book. Don't get up and wander around to look at the photos and awards on the walls. Sit tight and rehearse your answers to possible interview questions. When you're called for your turn, open the door gently. Shut the door behind again gently and without making noise. Have a graceful smile on your face. Say Assalamu alaikum and seek permission to sit. When the interviewer offers you a seat, don't drag the chair back and forth in an awkward way. Sit up straight. Sit upright but not too stiffly, and plant your feet firmly on the floor. This indicates that you are comfortable and feeling confident. Do not sit in a relaxed posture. You may think that a relaxed pose will show your confidence, but it shows instead a lack of respect or interest. Do not hunch down in your chair, as it gives the impression of nervousness and low self-esteem. In addition, a sloppy posture indicates a careless attitude and a lack of energy. Relax and slightly lean forward about 10 degrees toward your interviewer. This gives the message that you are both interested and involved. Be aware of your hands. If you are unsure of what to do with your hands, rest them loosely clasped in your lap. While speaking, use your hand gestures. It shows that you are engaged energetically in what you are saying. Do not raise your hands above the neck level. Do not touch your face or hair with your hands, as it is unprofessional and conveys nervousness and anxiety. Do not touch your nose or lips, as it can indicate that you are lying or uncertain. Do not fold your arms across your chest, as it suggests a closed and defensive attitude. Be aware of your legs. Do not make lots of leg movements, as it is both distracting and indicates nervousness. Do not put one leg or ankle on top of your another knee, as it makes you look too casual and comes across as arrogant. Crossing your legs high up conveys a defensive attitude. You are suggested to just cross your legs at the ankles or place both feet flat on the floor, because it conveys a confident and professional look during the job interview. Make an eye contact. If the interviewer is talking and you want to show that you are actively listening, you need to instigate direct eye contact. Avoid appearing as if you are staring aggressively. While answering, you need to hold eye contact for periods of about 10 seconds before looking away briefly and then re-establishing eye contact. Do not look constantly downwards, as it makes you appear insincere or submissive. However, if you are speaking or the interviewer is asking you something, raise your head and make regular eye contact to show that you are actively involved. With panel interviews, it is best to look at and direct your answer to the person asking the question, with a glance periodically at the other interviewers. Now, let's learn about the PPSC interview panel and the respective questions, means what kind of questions each member of the interview committee asks. Number 1, head of the committee. He questions about your introduction and general ability. First, he asks you to introduce yourself, and then he shifts to the questions of general ability, including general knowledge, current affairs, Pak studies, etc. Subject specialists. Then there are 2 subject specialists who ask subject-based questions. They usually ask you to tell your favorite area, and then they begin a series of questions about your area of interest. For example, if you have applied for the post of English lecturer and your area of interest is drama, they will further ask questions about your favorite dramatist, like who is your favorite dramatist, why do you like him, what are his major works, and so on. Number 4, educationist. The member from Education Department questions about teaching methodologies, techniques, and classroom management. He may question, why did you decide to become a teacher? What is your teaching philosophy? How will you meet the needs of the students in your class who are advanced or say they are bored? Or how will you engage reluctant learners? And so on. Sometimes a psychologist is also there in the interview panel. He observes the behavior, expressions, and gestures of the interviewee. He ensures you are the candidate best fit for the position. Actually, he evaluates your mental health. Here are some instructions for interview questions. If you do not know the answer to any question, simply say sorry with a smile and move on to the next question. Do not try to explain the topics, ideas, or concepts you are doubtful or uncertain about. It will save your time for your favorite area. Do not pretend and do not tell a lie. Stay what you are. The members of interview panel are highly experienced. Provide a reasonable and to-the-point answer. The interviewers generate new questions from whatever you tell them, so avoid mentioning anything in your answers over which you do not have command. Your body language, including expressions and gestures, particularly use of hands, must reflect you are confident. Whoever asks question, turn your body slightly to him, face him, and answer his question. Avoid being emotional in the interview. Generally, it is advisable not to show too much or too strong emotion during your job interview. Smile and nod at appropriate times, but do not overdo it. Show your interest in the post applied for. At the end of your interview, say, "It was nice to talk to all of you. Thanks, Jazakallah, Allah Hafiz," and leave the room gently with a graceful smile. Here is the crux of this lecture, so please be more attentive. Prepare your introduction beforehand. Your introduction is the major part of your interview, as your interview starts with your introduction. and it is better to write your introduction before the interview. Prepare frequently asked general ability questions. Although general ability questions are not as much important as your subject questions are, yet try to prepare for the most common and frequently asked general ability questions. Also prepare frequently asked subject-based questions. Prepare your area of interest. It is very important part of your interview. For example, your subject is English literature and you like English poetry. You should prepare the genre of poetry and at least one favorite poet and his works in detail so that you may answer each and every question related to your favorite area. Prepare your favorite teaching methodology. Prepare at least one presentation or short lecture of 3 to 5 minutes, and that should be according to your favorite teaching methodology. Collect information about the post you have applied for, as the interviewers may also ask some questions about the post you have applied for. You are advised to practice with mock interviews. Request your teacher or senior to conduct your mock interviews. It helps a lot. Thank you for listening to this lecture. May you succeed in this life and the life hereafter.